staff hearing officer, and I call the meeting of Wednesday, August 5th to order. Today we have 4 items on the agenda, and I haven't received any requests for continuances, withdrawals, or postponements. However, the first 2 applicants are not in the room yet. So if I get through with announcements before they get in the room, we will skip to item C, which is 701 Island View. So that's the plan, and then we'll come back to the other items. Under announcements and appeals, I have no announcements, and there's been no appeals. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the staff hearing officer on items not on today's agenda? Seeing no one, so we will go to item C, which is 701 Island View Drive, and then we'll see what other applicants come in the room. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me give you this.
Yes, thank you.
Anytime you're ready, Joanne. I know we switched the order, but.
Right. This property is zoned E1, and it's a 10,000 square foot lot. Current development on the site consists of a 1-story single-family dwelling and an attached 2-car garage. The proposed project is to construct a 140 square foot 1-story addition and a new 603 square foot 2nd-story addition to the residence. The requests before you today are a front setback modification to allow an addition within the required 30-foot front setback with 1 new window, and an interior setback modification to allow alterations to the dwelling in the interior setback. And it also, the front and interior setbacks also include constructing a conforming 2nd-story addition to the residence. The existing dwelling is non-conforming to the required 30-foot front setbacks at its closest points, approximately 25.5 feet from the front property line. The proposal is to construct a conforming 2nd-story addition and to construct a small portion of the addition that will encroach approximately 1 square foot and 1 foot into the required front setback with 1 new window. Staff is in support of this request, and it's to allow for a new handicap shower. Accessible shower in the dwelling. We're in support of the request, the front setback modification, because the 2nd-story addition will conform to the setback requirements, and the small addition at the front has a minor encroachment. It's in line with the existing dwelling, and it's not anticipated to adversely impact the adjacent neighbors or the visual openness of the street frontage, and the window is in this location over here. The second modification request is for an interior setback along the south interior property line, and it's for window changes in this area and to construct a 2nd-story conforming addition. The alterations on the first floor include removal of 2 windows and replacement with 6 new windows in the south interior setback. So if you'd like, we can turn to the elevations to see where those changes would occur. It's this is the existing.
This is the proposed. So existing is, here's your comparison. So there's existing as proposed.
Yeah, so this is the existing and this is proposed. The window changes. This is a little larger 3-pane window, and to replace this 3-pane window was existing. This will be set up into 2 smaller windows, and this is the area of the addition. So those are the window changes proposed. Staff is in support of the requested interior setback modification because the 2nd-story addition will conform to the setback requirements, and the new windows are partially shielded by landscaping. In some instances, you'll only see the top portion of the window, and you could see it more in this photo over here. And I believe there is a diagram that the architect has provided to show what the visual impact would be to the adjacent neighbor. And so this project was reviewed by the Single Family Design Board and was forwarded to the staff hearing officer with comments. Also, the garage is a little bit undersized, and because the additions will exceed 50%, They will need a garage waiver, which transportation planning has advised they could support, so therefore a condition has been included to that effect. Staff would like the proposal approved and supported, subject to the findings outlined in the staff report. And that concludes staff presentation.
Okay, great, thank you. Would you like to state your name for the record and provide additional comments?
Yes, please. My name is Greg Jenkins. I'm the architect for the owner. And the comments from the Single Family Design Review Board from their minutes dated May 18th stated the modifications are aesthetically appropriate and do not pose consistency issues with the design guidelines. Additionally, their motion said the board appreciates the architect's efforts in reducing the size of the structure to mitigate impacts to the adjacent property to the south. We did receive, as you're aware, we received a letter from the neighbor to the south, and we had 2 hearings with the Single Family Design Review Board, and this neighbor's privacy was paramount, in our discussion. I took some photographs from simulated locations up on the roof where the second-story windows are looking towards the neighbor. The neighbor suggested that we would have panoramic views into their yard. Well, this clearly is not the case, and the Single Family Design Review Board concurred with that. 2 of them spoke, favorably that, we're not impacting into their privacy. The first floor windows, which I'll be happy to go over with you, as staff has said, starting with the, let me just go to the floor plan. The change to the bathroom here, we are pushing this wall out 2 feet. So these 2 windows get affected. So we create 1 window instead of 2. So this is that little projection for the shower so we can create a handicap bathroom. The master bathroom has existing 2 windows at 9 square feet, and then the proposed is 1 window at 7.5 square feet. So that is a 17% reduction in glazing area. In the master bedroom, we are going from 1 window that is 8 feet long to a combination of 3 windows that create a net 50 square feet. So the existing was 40 square feet of glazing area, and the proposed is 50 square feet, so that is a 25% increase here. This was previously a bedroom, and it had a 6-foot by 4-foot window, and now we're proposing 2 2-foot 4 by 3-foot windows. So that was existing at 24 square feet, and now we're proposing 13.98 square feet. So that is a 42% reduction in glazing area in this location. We are proposing a cantilever portion at this window to match existing architecture and propose. So this set, these 2 elements here, set a vocabulary architecturally that we're trying to mimic along the side. It's not floor area. It is strictly just a windowsill that pops out. And then this is the new window, just for the sake of getting cross ventilation in this bedroom, that currently there is no window in at all. We've done our very best to be good neighbors. We've attempted, my client has attempted contact with the neighbor, and we've done our best, and we have the Single Family Design Review Board seem to concur with that. So my client are wonderful people. They want to be good neighbors. They want to, accommodate where they possibly can, and yet they're also wanting to enjoy their ocean view too. So, but there are 3 other 2-story homes that were added onto in the neighborhood. So this is, and they're in very close proximity to this home. 1 is right next door, and then 2 others are directly across the street. So the 2nd-story addition is consistent with alterations that have been done recently in the neighborhood. So I think that concludes my presentation, and available for answering any questions you might have.
Okay, great, thank you. I'd like to open the public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to address the staff hearing officer on 701 Island View Drive? Is See, no one. I did receive a letter or an email from the neighbor, William Hendrickson, and expressing concerns regarding the privacy issues, and I've reviewed it and also went to the site. So, and we haven't received any other calls. Okay, great. So I'll close the public hearing. I went out to the site and looked around the neighborhood, and get a feel of the neighborhood, what the existing development is. And I have a question regarding the proposal. When you look at, is it a remodel or is it a demo rebuild? Because you look at all the lines, they're all dark, and so it's not showing like the area of additions. This is new, it's all dark, so same with the first floor, it's all dark. So is it a remodel, or are these walls going to be demoed?
It is a remodel, and it is not going to be a demo. We are saving a significant portion. And I apologize, the graphics on this is just for a preliminary standpoint, and it doesn't reflect what are new and what are non-new windows. So I apologize for that.
Okay, so it's not demo rebuild.
It is not a demo rebuild. Yeah, that is correct. So the roof will be removed for the new floor system.
Correct.
Yeah, but the existing one-story walls will remain, and the foundation system is adequate.
Okay, all right. That was just my main question because, like I said, dark lines usually mean new walls.
Correct, right.
So,
yeah.
Okay, well, in regards to the front setback modification for the small bump out area, I think it is appropriate. It is a small encroachment, but it's not getting any closer than the existing development, and it's for internal, handicap accessibility, which is appropriate. It's not anticipated to impact the streetscape. In regards to the second-story addition, yes, it is a technicality that you need a modification because of the provision saying the basic exterior characteristics of the building shall not be altered, and you're going from a one-story to two-story, so that does require it. However, like you said, and what Joanne said was the second-story element is consistent with the zoning requirements. You're not asking for any special zoning relief for that. So in terms of the window placement and the location of the second story, the size, and that is a design issue. And so I won't get into the privacy concerns of the neighbor regarding the second story addition. In regards to the first story changes, which you are asking for specific relief from, there's no new floor area because this pump out here, we don't consider that floor area. It's more like a bay window element, and that it pops out. And I don't have a concern. Does this one show both properties? No, it's just this one. Yeah. I don't. In regards to this front window here getting bigger, I think that's fine and appropriate. And this one going from 1 to 2, I think that's appropriate too. I do have a concern regarding this new window here, and you did show in some of the documentation that there's a tree here, but it's kind of weird to have a tree to block the view, light and all that kind of stuff. And you can see from the picture here there are other windows, and I have concerns regarding this new window in this area. I understand the cross ventilation type thing. I don't know if you can do a clear story window instead, if that would be appropriate, but I can't support the proposed window in that area given the concerns. I had concerns before even I got this letter yesterday from the neighbor, just when I went out there. And there is a grade difference. This one's lower than this one, so you are kind of looking down into it. So I don't know how you want to respond to that, but as I have real concerns regarding the window there.
I believe the applicant or the owner would be very happy to go with a clear story transom type window that is 2 feet tall. So we're starting at standard head height, which is 6'8", and then we come down to 4'8", which to accommodate for so that gives us, the cross ventilation.
I'm looking for that. No, this is it.
Yeah,
so what's
is it.
this right here now?
That is
42 or
You're going to make me do the math here. So this is 6'8"
early,
coming
sorry.
down. So that's 2'8" off the floor. And so if we made this only 2 feet, so it would be 4'8" off the floor. So that raises it up.
Okay. I
So
heard you
as
take
you're
a breath.
sitting,
Did you?
as you're sitting in the room, you're not going to be looking at it. If you were to stand right at it, you could still look
Yeah.
at it.
Okay. I heard you take a breath. Did you want to say something?
I
or you
just wanted to make sure that was the bedroom addition window.
It is.
Well, it's an existing bedroom, but it's the new window within the setback. It's not.
Correct.
It's new opening. That's the word. The new opening, because these are existing openings that are. This one's expanding slightly. This one's going to 2 windows.
If you want to go to the comparison.
Yeah, there's a. The reason why I don't have as much concern with the middle one is that there is a buffer between the usable area. Where's the floor plan? So, you are. Here's the sink, and then these are cabinets, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're standing back. So just for that area. Okay, yeah. If you're open to that condition, it will be a new condition that the window,
So from a 6040 to a 6020.
whatever number you want to call it, but I'll specify what
Okay.
how high, that it's a clear story window, and that's I think acceptable to me. So that was really my only real concern. Like I said, the second story is not really in my purview, although technically you do need a modification for it. I'm looking at the areas that are actually changing in the zoning, so you're not asking for an open yard, and it's the front interior. So with that new condition,
Madam Hearing Officer, if I could also just speak to the second floor. We are scheduled to come back to the Single Family Design Review Board and work on this window specifically. That was
Okay.
in the past. So this is a work in progress, and so this window will very likely change in configuration. And so they're aware of it. And so they're looking at it mainly from an aesthetic standpoint, not from a privacy standpoint. So, but,
yeah, like I said, that's all design review. So
Yes.
what they do to massage it, they have their good neighbor policies, which I use as a guideline too, but they are enforcing them. So
Right.
with that new condition, I can make the finding outlined in the staff report. So you'll have 2 conditions, one regarding the parking design waiver that staff is proposing, and the other one is the clear story window. I can approve your project. My action is appealable to the Planning Commission within 10 calendar days, and they also have oversight authority of all my actions, and if they felt this warranted additional discussion before them, they could call it up during that same 10-day review period, and if that was to occur, Joanne will contact you.
Great.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I see the applicant in the room for the first item, item A, which is 1324. No? Oh, sorry. Okay, Joanna, were you able to contact? Okay, let's go ahead, and we're going to go back to item A, which is 1324 Port Swallow Avenue. The applicant's not here, but I think we could hear it without them. It's unfortunate they didn't show up. Anytime you're ready, Joanna.
Thank you. This is 1324 Portezuelo Avenue. The lot is currently developed with a 3,282 square foot single family residence. So here are the property lines. Here is the 30-foot front E1 setback and the 10-foot interior E1 setback. The property was constructed in the 1970s when this lot was zoned E3. So it is conforming to the E3 setbacks. The proposed project involves alterations to the roof pitch, so they're going to demolish a section of the existing roof, reduce the overhang, and alter the pitch, which I can show you in the elevation on the next page. Also proposed is a new trellis, which encroaches into the front and interior setback. And the alteration in the roof pitch is occurring in the front setback. Upon site visit, some additional changes were observed. The paving in the driveway, some shutters on the front elevation, and new garage doors. Those will all require building permit. So staff recommends the approval of the requested modifications with the findings as outlined in the staff report, with a condition that the applicant obtain a building permit for the observed changes upon the site visit. And that concludes my presentation.
Okay, great, thank you. The applicant's not here, but I'll ask you a question. In regards to the conditions, did you speak to the applicant regarding?
Yes, I let them know that I spoke with the plans examiner and the building department to confirm that indeed a building permit would be required for those changes. And because this project is located in the Hillside Design District over 20%, it would trigger the need for design review for those exterior changes because it needs a building permit. They're aware of that, and also the additional requirements that may come along with that, including stormwater management program requirements.
Okay, because the area increased with the new pavers?
Correct. And the applicant is indicating that the pavers are permeable, but we need to see a cross-section to confirm that they are truly permeable.
Okay. Great, thank you. I'd like to open the public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to address the staff hearing officer on 1324 Port Swallow Avenue? No, have we received any letters or calls? No? Okay, so I'll close the public hearing. I went out to the site and drove around the neighborhood and looked at the different, there's varying styles and varying changes to the neighborhood. And what they're proposing is minor. It's roof pitch changes. It actually might improve the streetscape a little bit. So I think they are appropriate improvements, and I can make the findings outlined in the staff report regarding the front setback modification and the interior setback modification. And then subject to the condition of approval you proposed. I don't think I need to add any additional conditions of approval. It's minor, like I said. So with that, I'll make the findings, approve the project subject to the conditions of approval, and my actions appealable to the Planning Commission within 10 calendar days. And they also have oversight authority of all my actions, and if they felt this warranted additional discussion before them, they could call it up during that same 10-day appeal period. So that's that one. So now we'll go to item B, which is 2108 Chapala Street. Good morning. Anytime you're ready.
This property is zoned E3 and it's a 5,000 square foot lot. The current development on site consists of a 1,245 square foot single one-story.
Maybe it's better. The property is zoned E3 and it's a 5,000 square foot lot. Current development on site consists of a 1,245 square foot one-story single family residence and a detached 292 square foot garage. The proposed project is for a 63 square foot addition to legalize an as-built shower and an on-demand water heater and some exterior lighting. And also the project will address violations outlined in a zoning information report. The request before you today is for an open yard modification of the location and or to reduce the size of the required open yard. The project was exempt from review by the Single Family Design Board. The proposed project includes, this is a bathroom addition to the rear of the dwelling. It will reduce the size of the open yard, but it will meet the setback requirements. The existing open yard is non-conforming with approximately 1,190 square feet that meets the requirements. So any further reduction to the non-conforming open yard requires a modification. The zoning ordinance requires 1,250 square feet of open yard area that may be provided in multiple locations with 20 by 20 minimum dimensions. So the proposal will reduce the open yard to approximately 958 square feet that complies with the ordinance, although there will be approximately 1,016 square feet that doesn't meet the ordinance requirements total. Staff is supportive of the open yard request due to the small size of the E3 lot. E3 lot today would require 7,500 square feet of lot area, and this lot is only 5,000 square feet. And because this open yard is still usable and it will allow for a small addition while maintaining the existing neighborhood character, staff would like the modification supported with the subject to the findings and conditions outlined in the staff report. And that concludes staff's presentation.
Okay, great, thank you. Would you like to state your name for the record and provide additional comments?
Sure. My name is Ellen Bildston with Bildston Architecture and Planning. I'd like to just turn to the floor plan to show what role this addition would play to the existing house. So entering off of the Chapala side on the street, we come into a open area. We have 2 bedrooms, a single bathroom, closets for each of these 2 bedrooms, small kitchen area and laundry room that leads to the backyard of the house. So the role that this addition would play is 1 additional bathroom to really improve the functionality of what is an existing very small house and would really make a great difference to the owners. So that is the motivation for building the addition and seeking this modification to the open yard area.
Okay, great, thank you. Joanne, I do want one clarification. You had mentioned there's a list, not a list, but there's other items that are going to be included on this permit. However, the only item that needs the mod is the bathroom addition, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So that's it for right now. Mm-hmm. I'd like to open the public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to address the staff hearing officer on 2108 Chapala Street? Have you received any emails or calls? No correspondence. Okay, I'll close the public hearing. I looked at the ZIR just to have an idea what the items that were called out. And here your note says sink removed to abate building violation for ZIR. The ZIR also talks about cabinets and stuff in the garage. Have those been removed too?
They certainly will be by the time this project is completed.
Okay, I would like to add a condition just to state, since it's not shown on the plan, that the utility sink cabinets and is this cabinets or counter? Is there a counter?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, shall be removed from inside the garage, so that just so that's clear that that's going to be included with this project. Mm-hmm. In regards to the requested modification for the open yard area, you do have a small lot. You have existing development on the site. It's not an overly large house. It's an okay size, about 1,250 square feet. But I think a second bathroom does make it more functional. In the open yard area, although it does encroach into the open yard area, there's still other areas that could be used for outdoor enjoyment on the property. So I think that your request regarding the open yard modification is appropriate and supportable. And you saw the conditions that staff was proposing in regards to, I guess it's just the lighting, which Joanna said, and then regarding the potential for archaeological, archaeological finds or whatever.
There was a report that was written regarding the archaeological potential, and they found nothing to.
Yeah, and this is
to
a
be
pretty
concerned
standard
about.
condition, just to let contractors know there's a remote possibility, but, okay. So then, with those conditions and the added condition regarding the removal of the utility sink cabinets and counters, I can make the findings outlined in the staff report and approve your project subject to those conditions. And my action is appealable to the Planning Commission within 10 calendar days. And they also have oversight authority of all my actions, and if they felt this warranted additional discussion before them, they could call it up during that same 10-day review period. And if that was to occur, Joanne will contact you.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Sure. So we've already heard 701 Island View Drive because we were waiting for the applicants to show up. And I see that the last item, the applicant's here now, 1830 Mission Ridge Road. If the applicants would like to come up. No, they're here. Yeah. Morning.
Hi, Joanne. Hi, how's it going?
I have pants that match that jacket I should give to you.
Are they linen?
Maybe it'd be too much pink, though.
Anytime you're ready, Joanne.
Okay. This property is zone A1 and it's a 24,462 square foot lot. Current development on site consists of 1,090 square foot single family residence, an attached two-car garage, and a swimming pool. The proposed project involves a new 748 square feet of one-story additions, new doors and windows, window replacements, a new front patio, removal of a portion of the driveway, and a pool water slide. The requests before you today are a front setback modification to allow an addition with a new window in this area, which is the secondary front setback facing Las Tunas Road, and an interior setback modification to allow an addition with a new door, new windows, and alterations to the residence within the required 15-foot interior setback. So the proposal includes construction of 748 square feet of new one-story additions, of which approximately 46 square feet will be located in the required secondary front setback, so the small area over here. The property has two front setbacks because it faces both Mission Ridge Road and Las Tunas Road. A small portion of the proposed addition with one new window will be located in the setback, and it's proposed to encroach approximately 6 feet 9 inches into the required 35-foot secondary front setback. Staff supports this requested modification because the property is site constrained due to the two front yards and the location of the existing development on site, and because the addition and new window are not anticipated to adversely impact the street visual openness of the street frontage or the adjacent neighbors. So the second modification request is the east interior setback modification. The existing dwelling is non-conforming to the east interior setback as it's located approximately 12 feet 7 inches from the interior property line instead of the 15 feet required. The proposal is to construct an addition in line with the existing residence, as you can see here, and with new windows within the required setback. And the windows and addition are partially screened from view by existing landscaping. Staff is in support of the majority of the project to allow the requested addition and new windows within the required interior setback because it will result in a cohesive design to the existing dwelling, and it's not anticipated to adversely impact adjacent neighbors. However, there is a door proposed in the interior setback, and staff does not support the request for the new door. Because new doors are required by the building code to have exterior lighting, and staff regularly advises applicants to eliminate or minimize new openings or doors or things that could cause privacy issues or light trespass onto adjacent properties, and so we typically do not support those. And so staff recommends that you approve the majority of the project except for the new door and the setback, and the project was reviewed by the Single Family Design Board and was forwarded to the staff hearing officer with comments. So this is the one new window for the front setback facing Las Tunas Road. And this is the new door, and these are the window changes. And if you go to the elevations, some of the windows, it will show them better.
It's right there.
That's the new door windows. This window is getting smaller.
And these are the two in the front setback off Las Tunas.
Mm-hmm.
Only
Only
one
this
of
one
them is-
encroaches, though.
Yeah, after measuring it.
And also, I don't believe it's highlighted, Joanne, excuse me for speaking, but this sliding door, I think a very small portion of it, even though it slides this way, is in the interior setback as well, based on the site plan on the front.
You want to state your name for the record?
I'm Lauren Deason. So because of the encroachment of the existing structure here,
Oh,
I
it's in
think
that
that
interior
one is
setback.
Right there,
Yeah.
that little piece.
and that's not the operable part, but it is still in the setback.
Okay. All right. So that's your presentation?
That's it. I don't have any correspondence. I haven't received any.
Okay, great, thank you. Would you like to add any additional comments?
Yes, we feel that because the door is actually pretty far away from the adjacent structure, the existing dwelling is also at a lower elevation than the neighboring one, and because of the hedge, we think that it would be should be supportable to allow the door in the interior setback. Also, the eave overhang is 4 feet, which is pretty substantial, so any exterior lighting for that door will be shielded from the neighboring because of that.
It's going to be a recessed
Neighboring view.
fixture in the soffit of the
Do you want
overhang.
to state your name for the record?
Oh, Don Sherry. Sorry.
That's fine. You can sit there if you want to talk. You got to say your name.
I know. I didn't really want to talk. But, where's the overhang, Lauren? It's here. You can see the overhangs are really deep, and and because it's a kind of a modernist house, that the style that we're going for, the exterior lighting is going to be recessed fixtures up in the soffit. No wall sconces.
And so that, in terms of roof overhangs, it meets our allowance for overhangs? Is it a new roof?
It's existing.
Okay, it's existing.
So the new overhang
It's just extending that.
is part of the modification that is coming off in line with the existing house. This is the overhang here.
We should add that in just to make it clear that that's part of the request. Okay, so that was your
And the
comment?
hedge, and you mentioned the hedge
Yeah,
is
the
pretty
hedge, the
thick.
neighboring hedge, or I believe it's actually trees. Probably the panoramic will show it best.
Oh, here. That was up from Las Tunas.
And you did a site visit, right?
I did, yeah. And then one of the owners was there?
So,
So he showed me the staking that was on site.
so you can see from this rear view here that these are large trees that are shielding the neighboring view. And also, I don't know how visible it is from the front, but you can see this prints
And
came out
what's
kind of
the
dark.
necessity for it? I don't understand the necessity of a door, and there's other access out to the yard.
Because we wanted all of the bedrooms to have an exterior door. It's just nicer so that people can, this bedroom has one through the bath, through here. This one doesn't, because it's going to act as kind of a library anyway, and a guest bedroom. But we wanted all the bedrooms to be equal, because we knew this was going to be a family living here, and everybody would want a door going out somehow. It just makes the bedrooms nicer when you have light coming from down below, and you don't feel, it's just nicer to have a bedroom with a door, so you don't feel claustrophobic that you have to be inside and go through a hallway to get.
Okay. Great. So I'd like to open the public hearing and see no one in the audience. And you already mentioned you didn't receive any emails or anything, so I'll close the public hearing. Yeah, like I said, I did go out to the site and look around the neighborhood. I drove actually up onto Las Tunas too, just to get an idea. What are these? Oh, this is just like an overlook of it, but this is standing on the side of the road, which you see when you're looking down. You just get an idea how visible it is, what the streetscape is, since you're asking for a modification, and I agree it is the secondary front yard. The house is oriented towards Mission Ridge, but just get a feeling of it. And in regards to the front setback modification, it's an appropriate improvement. It's a minor encroachment, but it's not going to significantly alter the streetscape, and as you're driving by, you're not going to notice it. And if you happen to be walking on the road, which would be kind of scary, it's not going to be a significant change. You're going to say, "Whoa, what was that?" So the front setback modification is appropriate. In regards to the interior setback modifications, with the windows and sliding door, this one it technically is in the interior setback, but it's facing out towards the street, and that's totally supportable. The windows here, let's go to the elevation actually. So here's the subject elevation. These are all existing. You're replacing, but they're in the same opening, right? Mm-hmm. Here's getting smaller. Is this one brand new?
It's new. There's a window that is already in the rear there that will be relocated.
Taken
just
out,
minor,
taken out, and then that one
replaced. Yeah. So there is 3 windows on that side now.
And this
is actually set back. This is the bedroom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when I walked down this way here. In regards to the addition area, with the window, it is rather large, but I don't have the same concern with this window as I did with the project that we heard right before this in terms of its potential impact to the neighbor. I think this is fine. But I can't support a new door in the interior setback. I don't see the necessity of it. I understand you want it, but I would say the majority of the houses in Santa Barbara don't have exterior doors to every bedroom, and I don't see the necessity for that. So I can't support the door in the interior setback. But the new window's fine. And I don't know if you want to respond to that. I can't support it.
I just want to ask just why.
I don't understand. I don't believe we have setbacks to provide the separation of uses, and I understand you can use a setback. You can congregate in the setback, but I just don't believe that a door. I understand the lighting is going to be shielded, but I don't see the necessity for a door. The modification allows for a necessary improvement. I don't see the necessity of the door.
Got it.
In the setback. So I agree with staff's, and that's something I've consistently.
Okay.
I don't know that I've ever approved a new door with an interior setback. I just don't believe they're appropriate.
Okay.
So I agree with the findings as outlined. Staff's not proposing any conditions, and I don't believe I need to add any conditions. It's the fact that's not approved, it needs to be removed. So I don't need to add a condition to state it's going to be state it's going to be removed. So I believe I can make the findings as outlined in the staff report, subject to no conditions. My action is appealable, however, to the Planning Commission within 10 calendar days if you wanted to appeal it to the Planning Commission and get their intake. They also have oversight authority of all my actions, and if they felt this warranted additional discussion before them, they could call it up during that same 10-day review period. And if either of those would occur, Joanne would contact you.
Great.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I adjourn the meeting.
It had to be you.